Hi everyone, today we're going to make a runner style game where we're going to have 3 lanes that we can jump from one to the other, a middle, a left and a right, oncoming obstacles that we have to jump over, attack or avoid, and coins to collect so we can get some form of score. We're going to start straight away by making a main menu for the game.
Game on. Drop add game object. Add new caps M cap I N space caps lock E N U.
So we'll make a main menu object.
Name new game object. Use events.
This is going to be our init object, our initial object that loads. So this will be the one that loads in all the audio. So there's quite a bit. I've already created all the audio. It took me about a day and a half. Well, a few hours. But it's separated over a day and a half. And just give me a moment while we load all that in. So straight away we'll add action.
Set up open. Position. Add load audio. Selected load audio. New sound edit blank.
So we've got some music for the main menu. So we'll put
caps lock on.
We'll call this new loaded sound M music underscore music.
Line M caps USIC.
So for main menu music.
Directory edit. New browse. New action. Open items view. Name audio. Items view. Typo GG5. Name intro music. Intro music 10 of 18. Intro open. Open button press dialog directory. OK. Direct OK.
Because telling me the directory not valid, audio file must be in the same folder as the project. Oh,
new action. Browse new
this
action.
is my fault.
Task switcher list. Now download runner project. Items view. Name audio. Name Wood Goblin Run. Name Wood Goblin Run. Unavailable.
Okay, that should have done it.
New browse pressed. Name Dropbox. New get position. Page up. Position. Name so. Open. Name. Name. Items. Names. Name barrel kit. Items view lit. Name intro music. File. Open button. New action.
And
Browse
happy.
button. New submit. Add action. New list. Load audio music with file audio intro music not selected.
Okay, so that's our first audio file loaded in. We're also going to need the game title.
Add action. Open. For install load. New action.
So I'll select the
file name. File name.
Select the audio file first.
Edit alt position.
I can call it the title. There it is.
Items view list. Title 8. Open button. New action. New sound. New sound edit blank.
We'll just call it title.
E. Submit. Add action button.
Okay. We're also going to need an effect for the confirm when we actually make a selection, because we're going to have 2 options. We're going to have new game and explain game.
Add pressed. Open. Clear all and load audio. Selected new browse. Desktop. Position. Name menu confirm. Menu open. Open button. New sound edit blank.
We'll just call it confirm.
Caps C cap O N R M. New add action.
So we've got music, we've got the title, we've got confirm. We'll use TTS for the actual menu options. We also have a scroll sound effect, and we also have a sound effect to say that the game is loading. So when we press start game, we'll have a little audio clip just to say that we're loading in the game, which is the main character's voice.
Pressed. Open. Position indicate. Load audio. Select new browse. Name new position. Type name scroll. Name open button. New sound edit blank.
So we'll just call it scroll.
R-O-L.
So when we press up and down,
new
it'll
sound,
play
new action. Submit.
this audio.
Used events.
And we also need the loading.
New attack pressed. Open. La position indicates the current vertical position. Set TTS volt. Stop or load audio. Select that new sound edit blank. Cap G.
Call it
New
loading.
browse. New action. Name. Position. Open. Open button. New action. Browse. Submit. Add action button. List. Load audio loading with file audio loading not selected.
Okay, so now we've loaded in 5 audio objects. That should do us for now. 5 audio sounds. So now we've loaded in those, we can just initially we want this to start playing the background music now straight away after it's done loading. So we'll put a play action in there.
New add action. Add action. Set open. Opposite audio. Play audio. New sound edit. Black caps lock on. Line. Cap USIC. Volume edit blank.
Volume is between 0 and 1, so we want 1 for full volume.
Submit. Add action button.
Okay, so like we'll just run that now, just quickly and test.
Submit. Submit button pressed. Tree Sonus game objects. Expanded. 1 main menu. Level 1 main menu 1 of 1. Drop down. Aric. Set as init object. Dialog new OK. Press use control plus arrow keys to move actions in the list.
So we've just set the main menu object now as the init object, so that will be the first object that runs when we start the game. In its creation event, it now loads in 5 audio files, and then once it's finished loading, it will play the main menu music audio files. So let's just make sure all of that is okay.
Run. Tree view, main menu 1 of 1 level 1. Debug mode, close debug mode button. Sonus event.
Okay, that works great. It takes a little while to load, and in that time people can get confused and think the game's broke. So what I'm going to do now is before the load objects, I'm going to just make a little TTS message just to say loading game.
List, main menu, tree view, main menu 1 of 1 level 1. Creation, list, play music at 1 volume not selected. Load audio music with file audio intro music not on.
So I've currently got this top item selected, which is load main menu music in, so I'm going to add.
Add action, open. Position indicates that set TTS channel. New action.
So we're going to now set a message into a TTS channel, so we'll use TTS channel 0.
New TTS channel edit, black 0. TTS, new TTS message. TTS message edit, blank.
And the message we'll just put as loading.
Cap L, caps O, A, D, I, N, G. Submit button. Sonus GDE v2.1.8. Add action button. Load text list. Load text loading into TTS channel 0.
Okay, that's put it below the main menu music, so I actually want it above it, so I'm just going to highlight it and press the move action up.
Move action up. Move action up button pressed.
So now we've loaded that TTS into a channel, we now want to play the channel straight after.
Add action. Add action but open. Action. Combo box close. Play TTS channel. Selected play TTS channel. New at TTS channel edit blank 0. TTS channel 0. Add action button.
So now let's just try that as well.
Run. Add action button. Debug mode. Close debug mode button. Menu close debug. Sonus GDE v2.1.8. Add action button.
That happened very quickly, but I think it's already actually loaded the audio in from the last time we play it. I don't think it clears. I should probably fix that.
Run.
Loading.
No, it does.
Close debug mode button.
Yep.
Close debug. So load text loading into TTS channel 0.
The TTS sounded a little bit quiet, so I'm going to increase the volume.
Add action. Pressed. Open.
And we're going
Decrease
to
audio.
do that
Increase set TTS volume.
by set TTS volume action.
Select new volume. Volume edit blank.
And we'll put it up to 100.
1 0. Set text to speech volume to 100. List. Set text to speech volume to 100.
Okay, the text to speech volume to 100 needs to be the first action, so I'm going to move that up.
Move action up. Move action up button pressed.
It needs to definitely be before the load TTS action, because the load TTS action will then create it within the channel but it will create it at whatever the volume was at that point. So we need to make sure that we set the volume first before it loads.
So get run.
Loading.
There we go.
Move action up debug mode. Close debug mode button. Sonus load audio loading with file audio loading .op list. Play music at 1 volume.
I also think the music's actually quite loud, and I don't think I want it that loud, so I'm actually going to play it at about 1/5 of its volume.
Drop edit action, edit action.
So I'm going to select the main menu music play action and just click on edit action.
Audio name edit, selected volume edit, selected 1.
We'll change it to 0.2.
0.2. Sub list, play music, use gate run.
Loading.
List, play close debug mode button.
That sounds better to me.
Debug close debug mode. Sonus GDE v2.1.8 list. Play music at 0.2 volume.
Okay, so now we have some main menu music playing. What we need now is to be able for the user to select between new game and load game. So considering that this will be playing our main menu music, and this one already has some audio assigned to it, I'll probably just make another object just to handle the scrolling of up and down. So we'll create a new
object. Tree view. Drop add game object. Name.
We'll call this one menu selection, this game object.
Caps lock on. M caps lock E N U space caps lock S caps lock E L E C T I O N.
Okay, and once this object is made, it will straight away tell you what's currently selected. So on its creation, we'll have it load and set a TTS of start game.
Delete add action. Position index set TTS channel. Selected new TTS message edit. Caps S cap T A R T space caps lock G cap A M E. TTS channel edit. Blank.
We'll use channel 1 since we've already used the channel 0, although that channel will have come and gone and won't be used again, so we could use it if we wanted, but just for the sake of keeping everything separate, I'll use TTS channel 1.
1. Submit button. Add action button. Add action pressed. Action. Play TTS channel. New action. TTS channel edit. New act 1. Add action button. Play list. Load text start game into TTS channel 1. Play TTS channel 1.
Okay, so that's the first thing that will happen when the menu selection object is created. What we also want is we want a local variable here called selection. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to have it change its number up and down when we press up or down. And then depending on what the value of that variable is, it will play start game or explain game. So let's make a local variable.
New variables. Variables list. Add. Add button add.
We'll call it selection.
Caps lock on. S caps lock off. E L E C T I O N. Value. Edit blank.
So what I'll do is I'll have the selection variable being able to be anywhere between 1 and 2. So if it equals 1, it will be the start game selected, and if it equals 2, it will be explain game selected. So we'll start it initially at 1, since on the creation event we are saying start game.
1. Submit button. Next submit add button. Closes the window. New game object variables button.
Okay, so now on our menu selection object, we'll go now to the up and down events. So
new open event combo box creation expanded. Up pressed. List unknown.
Okay, and what we'll do here is we'll just simply have it increase the selection variable by 1, and then it will check if that variable is over 2, and if it is, it means it's out of bounds of what we want it to be, because we only want it to be 1 or 2. And if it is above 2, we'll set it back to 1, and what this will do is it'll essentially make the menu loop.
Add action. Add action. Apply to. Grouping. Self-rate loop filter. Action. New O. Close. New act. Set add local variable. Select new act variable edit blank. caps lock on, S, caps lock off, ELECTION.
So we're going to add local variable selection
Value edit blank.
by value 1.
1. Submit. Add action button.
And then
You will
after,
increase local variable selection by 1.
we are going to check that local variable and make sure it is not above 2. And if it is above 2, we'll set it back to 1.
Add action pressed. Open. La position. Increase for loop begin. Condition begin. Select condition. New action.
So on the condition begin action, which is just going to check our variable value for us, we have a few parameters. Our first one is what is the variable type.
Condition settings grouping variable G, C, G, L.
L for local,
G,
G for global variable,
C,
C for a constant value, and we want L for local variable.
G, L. Edit blank.
And our local variable's name is
Caps lock on.
selection.
S, caps lock off. ELECTION. Operator. Combo box equals collapsed.
So our operators are how we want to compare two values. Equals means make sure if they are the same.
Greater.
Greater than.
Greater equals.
Greater than or equal to.
Less.
Lesser than.
Less equals.
Lesser than or equal to.
Not equals equals.
And not equal to. So we want to check if it is above 2.
Less equal less. Greater equal greater. Check variable. Combo box L collapsed.
And we want to check it against a constant value of 2.
G, C.
So this will never change, this value that we're checking against it. We always want to just make sure it's not above a set value of 2. So that's why we select the C for constant.
Edit blank. 2. Submit button. Add action button.
Great,
You
so now
increase list. Increase local variable selection by 1. If local variable selection is greater than 2, then. If local variable selection is greater than 2,
then after this condition action, we want to set selection to 1.
Add action. Apply action. Set local variable. Select set variable edit blank. Cap S. Caps lock off. ELECTION. Value edit blank 1. Submit button. New game object. Add action button. It set list. Set local variable selection to 1.
Okay, and now we've put in the action what we want to happen. We can now close that condition block.
New add action. Action. Position. New. Indic. Unload. Unclick. Condition end. Select submit. Add action button. If increase list. Increase local variable selection by 1. If local variable selection is greater than 2, then set local variable selection to 1. End if.
Brilliant. And now that we've put that end if there, all the actions we add after this point will not care about checking selection. So now what we want to do is we want again some conditions, and we want to check if the value is 1, say the message start game, and if it equals 2, say the message explain game. Which, now thinking about it, we'd be better off putting those both into separate TTS channels. So I know we've used TTS channel 1 for start game, so now let's go back to the creation event and we'll set explain game into TTS channel 2.
Use creation. Use event list. Load text start game into TTS channel 1. Drop now delete copy actions.
So we'll just copy this action.
List load drop paste actions. List load text start game into TTS channel 1.
So now I have that action there twice, and I'll just change
drop down men edit action.
Some of the parameters on one of them.
Channel form edit action. Start game unselected. Form edit action. Caps lock X PLAIN space cap G caps lock off AME. Channel edit 2. Submit. List load text explain game into TTS channel 2. Load text start game into TTS channel 1. Play TTS channel 1.
Okay, now back to our up pressed event.
Up pressed. Used events if list increase local variable selection by 1. If local variable selection is greater than 2, then set local variable selection to 1. End if.
And now after that segment of actions, we want to check if selection equals 1.
Move add action.
I can show you how to do this in GDE script, since we've already done it with the actions. If you don't want to go around clicking on drop down menus, we can actually just type the commands in.
GDE add and select.
So I click on GDE script and that will bring up all the actions I've already put in, but in a written form.
For add and selection 1, if L selection greater C2 set and selection 1 end if unselected. If L selection greater C2, set and selection 1, end if blank.
And to write a condition in GDE script, we write if, that's the command word, and then space, then after space, this is when we put the parameters for the action in. So if is the command to create a condition begin action, and then the first thing it's going to expect afterwards is what variable type.
Caps lock on, L, space, caps lock off.
And now it's after we've selected a variable type, we now need to tell it the variable name, which is selection.
Caps lock on, S, caps lock off, ELECTRON, space.
The next parameter is the operator, and this time we want to check equal, so that's two equal signs.
Equals. Space. C, caps lock on, C, caps lock off.
The next parameter being the check variable type, which in this case is a constant.
Space. 2.
And the value 2. New line. So the new line is we just want it to play, if the selection equals 2, we want it to play the explain game, which is in TTS channel 2. So PTTS is the command for play TTS, and the only parameter it needs is the TTS channel.
Space. 2.
Which is channel 2. New line.
ENDIF.
ENDIF in end if is the command for a condition end. And then again we're going to write pretty much the same thing again, except now we're going to check if selection equals 1, play TTS channel 1.
IF space caps lock L caps lock off space caps lock on S caps lock off ELECTRON space equal space caps lock on C caps lock off space 1.
New line.
PTTS space 1.
New line.
ENDIF.
Okay. And now we can press submit.
And so submit with GDE script button.
So I think we've got enough there just to quickly test.
Submit with tree view and so main menu selection.
So we've got two objects now, but the menu selection isn't going to be created during runtime. We need the main menu to create it.
Main menu, level 1 main menu 1 of 2.
So what I'm going to do now is after it plays the main menu music, we're going to then create a menu selection as well. So once it's done loading in all the audio, it creates this and gives us control of it.
Move add action, action. Create object. New action, get game on, new game object. ENU space caps S caps lock ELECTRON. Game on menu selection, new action, submit, add action button. Create a menu selection that object.
Okay, so we've only got up pressed in at the moment. So we can only scroll up, but we should be able to make it scroll up and loop through all of the available options, which is only 2, start game and explain game. So let's just run that and see what happens.
It gets run.
Loading.
Add action debug mode.
Start
Close
game.
debug mode button. W.
Explain game.
W.
Start game.
W.
Explain game.
Close. Sonus GDE v2.1.8. Add action button.
And I think that works great, although I still think the music is overpowering it a little bit. So I'm going to further decrease the volume of the music.
Low play music list. Play music at 0.2 volume. Drop edit action. For volume edit 0.2. 1. For submit. List. So game run.
Loading.
List. Play debug
Start
mode. Close
game.
debug mode. W.
Explain game.
W.
Start game.
W.
Explain game.
That seems better.
Close the Sonus GDE v2.1.8 list. Play music at 0.1 volume.
Okay, and I think we'll finish this finish this tutorial by just creating now the down button for the selection. so we can now go up and down in the menu. And then the next video will make it so the user can actually press start game, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Menu selection. Tree view. Up pressed. Event. Up. Used events list. Up pressed.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on GDE script.
Sonus GDE script. GDE edit add selection
got
1 if L selection greater C2 set selection 1 and if L selection equals C2 PTTS 2 and if L selection equals C1 PTTS 1 and if.
So I've got all of that selected, so I'm just going to copy that.
Close. GDE script in open. Event. Combo box up pressed expanded. Up down pressed. Add GDE script. So edit multi-line.
And I've pasted it all in. So, but we want it to act a little bit differently. We don't want this button to increase the selection local variable by 1. We want it to subtract it by 1. So the first line is add LV for add local variable. We're just going to change that to sub LV.
Add form GDE. If L add selection 1. D L S U B B U S U B L V space quote S E L E C T I O N quote space quote 1 quote carriage return.
Okay, so that's sub LV selection 1.
Form GDE script.
And then the line below it is if local variable selection is greater than constant 2, which needs to also be changed for if it's below 1.
Sudden select greater less space quote C quote space quote 2 quote 1.
So we changed the operator to less than, and we've changed the constant to 1. And now within this condition it sets local variable selection to 1. We want that now to set selection variable to 2 because it's gone below, so we want to take it back to the top.
Set selection 1 quote 1 2.
And that should now work.
Submit. GDE script game run.
Loading.
GDE script debug
Start
mode. Close
game.
debug mode button. W
Explain game.
W
Start game.
S
Explain game.
S.
Start game.
Perfect, works in both directions.
Sonus GDE v2.1.8 GDE script button.
Okay, so that's the introduction and the main menu. Half done for our little runner game. And we'll get more into it in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.